Hello, Sarah here again for my third entry for Bibliosnack. I want to start by saying that I think it kind of goes without saying that I am a fan of libraries. I'm a librarian, so when I travel, I always try to visit libraries that I'm nearby, especially libraries that have something kind of cool or interesting about them, or maybe kind of quirky or different. And actually, the backdrop to this blog, the photo in the background, is of one of those libraries that I visited. It's actually the downtown main library in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and it's the children's section. And in the children's section, there are these really cool kind of circular shelves, which you can kind of see in the photo. And some of the circular shelves have stairs that wind their way to the top. And on top of the shelf, there's like a little reading nook, which is really cool. You can sit and read a story. I've visited a lot of really cool libraries, but there is no library that compares to the coolness to the one in the book I want to talk about today. And it's a library that I really wish actually existed because I would love to visit it. And the book I want to talk about, unfortunately, I don't have the cover with me because I had to return the book to the library, but you can see it next to this video. It's called The Grimm Legacy by Polly Shulman. And in this book, The Grimm Legacy, the main character, whose name is Elizabeth, is recommended by her social studies teacher for a job, for some extra money. And the job is actually to be a page at a library in New York. And being a page means you like shelve stuff and get things for patrons if they need them and check stuff in. And the job seems pretty cool, but then she realizes how awesome the library actually is. This isn't just a regular library, it's actually called the New York Circulating Materials Repository. And it instead of lending books and magazines and DVDs like you probably know your library does, it actually lends stuff. It lends objects. So you can borrow really cool things like antique wigs or tea sets or basically anything you can think of. Now you can see why I wish this library actually existed, because wouldn't that be awesome? But it gets even cooler when Elizabeth realizes that in the basement of this library, there's a special collection, and the special collection houses something called the Grimm collection. And it's actually a collection of objects that are used somehow. All of them have been somehow used in fairy tales. And the idea is that the fairy tales have been actually inspired by real things. And this library has those things, and they are all somehow magical. So the setting of this story is what got me really excited about it and got me really interested in reading it. But when objects from the Grimm collection start going missing, the book starts having a really fun mystery that kind of propels it forward. So there's a really cool setting, and there's just enough kind of romance and a little bit of fun, and there's a lot of kind of weird, mysterious, quirky characters that keep it interesting. And I actually highly recommend this book to anyone, 5th or 6th grade, all the way up through high school. If you're older, you might get some of the literary references better. There's a lot of references to fairy tales and to books. There's actually also a science fiction collection in the library too, which I'm kind of hoping there's a sequel so that those get explored a little bit. So it's a fun summer read. It's a really great summer read because it's not too heavy, but it does have a little bit of literary depth and fairy tale references to give it a little more meat than just a fun magical fantasy. But if you like books like Harry Potter, and you like a little bit of romance in your books, I highly recommend The Grimm Legacy by Polly Shulman.